Bitcoin is right now on the verge of having a massive breakout, and in this exact video I will talk about why this is likely going to be happening anytime soon, since Tether is once again injecting a significant amount of money in towards the ecosystem, and many more important data points are suggesting that we're about to be having a massive move anytime soon. So without any further ado, don't forget to slap up that like button on today's update video. Let's smash it back about 400 likes. That will be absolutely incredible. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So looking at the Bitcoin price action right now, we can still see that Bitcoin remains to be creating lower highs as time continues, but at the same time, Bitcoin is also creating higher lows on the lower side. So what does this mean? The Bitcoin trend is basically creating an upward sloping support line and the downward sloping resist line, and basically Bitcoin is about to get squeezed out of this pattern anytime soon. And what pattern am I talking about? I am of course talking about the symmetrical triangle, since Bitcoin is creating lower highs and higher lows at the same time. We're looking at a potential big breakout going to be happening once Bitcoin breaks the downward sloping resist line, and more importantly, if we're going to be looking at the horizontal level of resistance, we can clearly see that level from 37.5k all the way up to 38,000 US dollars is the massive resistance for Bitcoin. And you can see every single time we touch that level, we get rejected, and right now more than 4 times in a row we have been retesting this level, and every single time this level we've seen a massive rejection from it. So let's see how it's going to be playing out, but at the same time Bitcoin is creating that upward sloping support line, so as long as we do not break that, I do believe that we're going to be remain to be trading in this upward sloping trend for Bitcoin. But talking about the liquidity in the market and the likelihood about where Bitcoin is breaking towards, we can currently clearly see is that there is actually a massive amount of short liquidations piling up on the top side around that 38,000 US dollar level, and a little bit above it we are seeing more than 400 million US dollars in Bitcoin short liquidations laying. What we do know from the past that usually Bitcoin tends to be going up towards these levels to liquidate out these positions. Last time around we had an approximately 200 million US dollar liquidation, and then Bitcoin went up from 37.5k all the way up here to 37.9k, and currently the majority of the liquidity in the market is laying above us, above this red box right here. So if we confirm the break above the red box for Bitcoin, then I will be expecting we're going to see a massive move towards the upside, and we will probably see in continuation even further on higher. So looking at Bitcoin, if we're going to be breaking out of this symmetrical triangle, the price target for me is going to be either towards the upside around 40,000 US dollars, or either if we do decide to be breaking bearish, my bearish price target for this symmetrical triangle is going to be somewhere around 33.8k. But what is important to understand is that the symmetrical triangle is a typical continuation pattern, and since Bitcoin is right now in a continuation towards the upside, it is more likely that it is actually going to be breaking towards the upside as well. So in my opinion, it's going to be a matter of time before we're going to be breaking out again. But of course it's important to understand that basically probably Bitcoin is going to be moving the fastest and the hardest on the fact that the Bitcoin spot ETF is going to get accepted. And right now we're probably only 46 days out before the acceptance of the first Bitcoin spot ETF, because that is the final deadline of the January 10th ARK Invest Bitcoin spot ETF. And what we're really expecting is that it is probably going to get accepted on an unexpected date, and if that were to be true, we're expecting that somewhere in December we're going to get that Bitcoin spot ETF accepted. And also another very bullish thing here is that Tether has been adding a lot of liquidity towards the ecosystem, and actually their market cap has increased by more than 1.5 billion US dollars in the past 4 days here. What is of course absolutely massive, because usually the more Tether market cap there is, the bigger the move on Bitcoins are. Tether is currently adding more liquidity towards the ecosystem, is also indicating that there is more interest from other people to actually buy into Bitcoin. So that is actually also a super bullish thing here. So if you were to be trading Bitcoin or wanted to be doing anything with it, make sure to go to the link description of today's video where you can claim a deposit bonus up to $40,000. And if you go directly towards the website, it's only 400, so it's a win-win. And on top of that, you can claim a free 1,000 US dollar airdrop position. And all you need to do here is go to the link description of today's video, click on that airdrop position, sign up an account using that link below, complete KYC, deposit $100 within the first 7 days, and you can claim a free 1,000 US dollar airdrop position. What is of course absolutely massive. A 1,000 US dollar trade for only depositing $100 is super super valuable. Further on, we can see that basically if we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, I want to be talking about the most important thing here, right? So this is the Bitcoin price action, right? And we're currently struggling against the level, but I discussed this in yesterday's video, but today I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth about it. Currently, if we're looking at Bitcoin, the most important point is of course the drop-off point for Bitcoin, right? So this is the drop-off for Bitcoin. Why do I call this the drop-off? Because once we broke below this level, this was the point that the big move towards the downside happened. And that is what you call a drop-off. And also, you could be approaching it in two ways, either from the top side or the lower side. So in this case, I'm going to be setting up both levels. So these are two very important levels from the previous bear market, because this basically meant once we broke below this level, the Bitcoin went absolutely hammered towards the downside. So right now, if we're looking at the price action for Bitcoin, we can currently see that that first level that I pointed out here is clearly the level that currently is providing resistance. And this is also the level that we need to break above of 37.6k. If we confirm that break above that level, then we could start to see potentially that continuation towards the upside. But just like I pointed out, we've also got another level, and that is currently sitting around 39.7k. So once Bitcoin breaks above this level, I am not expecting it's going to go straight up to $40,000 because 39.7k is going to be major resistance in my opinion. And if we then confirm that level as well, to confirm the breakout above that range, that will be of course super bullish for Bitcoin. But these are basically the two most important levels to be paying attention towards right now, because these levels has such significance from the previous bear market, and you can already see how much of an effect it has on the current price action on Bitcoin. So make sure to be paying attention towards that. As well on the daily time frame, Bitcoin of course still creeping towards the upside. The macro trend is significantly of course towards the upside. If we're looking at the RSI, it is losing some momentum on the daily time frame, but I've been saying this for quite a while right now. I think the market is really moved by news right now, and it's getting moved by sentiment. So the sentiment is still quite bullish, still maybe on January 10th, once the spot ETF gets accepted or rejected, the sentiment could change significantly, but for now it is still bullish, so I won't be surprised that Bitcoin is actually going to go much higher from off this point. So yeah, the momentum is looking quite dangerous. I won't necessarily go long with big positions, and if you go long here, make sure to use a tight stop loss, just like I currently have as well here. My stop loss is already in profit on this trade, so I won't lose any money if Bitcoin really is going to be dumping, but if it pumps, I will make a significant amount of money. So make sure to have a similar strategy, and of course I opened up my trade on the horizontal support on the 1 hour time frame, so make sure to do your analysis on the lower time frames if you want to be trading Bitcoin right now. Further on, we can currently see that Bitcoin of course broke above that weekly low here that's currently flipping it into support, 36.5k. Talked about that level many times before, also a reason why I opened up this small little trade here on Bitcoin. But yeah, definitely very interesting to be seeing right here. And on top of that, guys, quickly discussing Ethereum. Ethereum is currently also trading against massive resistance, and if we break above this level right here, then I will be starting to become super bullish on it, because this is the most important resistance for Ethereum on the weekly time frame. And honestly, if we break it, this ascending triangle's got a price target somewhere around $5,000, so that could be very bullish for Ethereum. But anyways, this was it for me in today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.